art is anything. It's how we choose to get up out of bed in the morning. It's how we choose to present ourselves, and it's the thoughts we choose to cultivate. Our whole lives can be art and creativity if we let it. For me, one of my favorite types of art is making music. I've been doing it since before I can remember. I've been singing. Music is so magical. It's invisible sound waves that when you take it in, it changes your emotional state, right? So that's medicine. So being able to channel that medicine and let it come through me has been so relieving. It just feels so good. There's nothing else like it.
Right.
Nothing else like it. It's like being in love.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Being in love.
Yeah, it feels like being in love.
Actually, on that note, what does love mean to you?
To me, love is acceptance. But it's not like a passive, cold acceptance. It's a compassionate acceptance and empathetic acceptance. So it's an appreciation of whatever the object of your love is.
Do you find it to be a struggle sometimes, or is it become a second nature now? Is it becoming a habit?
In terms of relating with other people, a lot of it comes down to communication. So being compassionate, being kind, not assuming things. For me, owning things. If I'm, because there's always, if there's some sort of confrontation, I'm always playing part of it. If I'm involved, I'm always playing a part. So just owning my own feelings and emotions around what's going on. It's not about who's right or wrong. We're all doing the best we can, given the tools we've learned and the circumstances we've learned from. So, just expressing how I feel and what I need, and asking if the other person is able to share that with me.
So basically, knowing yourself very well.
Yeah, and just honoring myself and recognizing that, I don't know, like the personality of Claire Mortifee, the preferences of Claire, the music that she makes, it's not, I don't choose to be who I am. It's like I get to witness myself from the inside out. And I honestly just feel like my job is to let myself be who I am.
So you're a musician, you're a singer-songwriter, you do jazz fusion, soul, R&B, funk. And but what's drawn me towards you, what intrigued me the most about you was your depth of spirituality and wisdom that you had. I think when I say spirituality, like, in a simplistic language, it is the understanding of suffering and turning suffering into positivity, understanding the darkness, understanding pain, and turning that into light.
Totally.
And that's what I saw with you and your life story so far. I mean, I always say in the earth time, you're super young. You're a 22-year-old amazing soul. But how do you explain the way you've dealt with the darkness and the pain?
For me, I felt a lot of deep grief from a very young age. When I was 14, I was raped for my virginity by a boy who was a few years older than me. And at that time, I had already been starting to restrict the food I was taking in. So I didn't think I was thin enough to succeed or to be enough to be worthy of love. So yeah, it was traumatic when I was raped by him, and after that I started eating less and less food and self-harming, cutting more and more, and a couple months later, yeah, I tried to take my life, and I mean, what I tried to do was, it didn't work out, and I think it was meant to be. of course, I'm here now.
I mean, you have compassion for the boy that raped you, you know? And that forgiveness.
I was really hurt. So it was, you know, I had to go through the process of, you know, supporting and healing that hurting. But you know, I recognize that's like, he was taught to force me to be his sexual toy. You know, that's you can see it anywhere in the culture.
Right.
So it wasn't like it's not just him. It's the culture that raised him to be a rapist. This rape culture, right? So I can only imagine how confusing and difficult it must be to be a boy growing up where you're told that to be acceptable as a male identifying person, you need to be masculine, which means that you need to be tough and aggressive and sexual, and that you can't be emotionally vulnerable, and that you can only feel anger.
Right.
Like, what? That's insane. It's so dehumanizing. It's so poisonous. So it's not, you know, for me, feminism is not about female empowerment, it's about human empowerment. And the title feminism is misleading, and of course the movement has changed a lot since it was originated, and the name may not be fitting anymore, but...
a lot of social scripts and social narratives and social norms needs to change a lot.
So much.
Right? What are some of the social scripts or narratives or social norms that you change in your life, that you don't participate in or you would like?
The value that's put on women's beauty above any other facet of the personality is poison to everyone, men included. Women have so much to offer other than how they look. And I didn't even know that until, you know, just a few years ago. I didn't think I had anything to offer except for my sexuality or being a sexual object. And the fact that I didn't even know that there was anything else that I could be. That's what I think needs to change the most, at least in the culture that I've grown up in. That's been the most poisonous for me.
And I think I completely agree with you as a man and as someone who has participated and contributed to that to some extent in my lifetime. And but there is a very in-depth indoctrination that takes place in both us, like men and women, boys and girls, and there's systematic indoctrination from religion, from academia, from media, from society, from parenting, from school. So to unlearn all of that and to deconstruct all of that and reconstruct yourself, it's a mammoth task.
Yeah.
Right. But it's doable, I guess. I mean, you're doing it.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm definitely trying. So how did the transformation start? I mean, obviously, in order to be the light that you are today, that we all know, a lot of people know you, the light that you've become, and you're aspiring to be more. How did that transition? Because in order to be that light, you have to first delve really right into the depth of darknesses.
Yeah, man.
And then pain. And I know there's a lot behind. So how did you convert that? How did you get...
Gosh. I mean, I've been trying to convert it since I was 10. Actually, maybe that's not true. I didn't start trying to convert it then. I was just experiencing it. But I think, about a year ago, I was really sick. I was grieving a lot. And I had been working so hard for so long at becoming well. But I still wasn't there. I was still hurting so much. So I started meditating regularly, and that really helped. Started exercising more, that really helped. And I put wellness as the thing on the top of my list. It came before my career, it came before any of my other external relationships. And of course, those things follow after wellness comes. But for me, it took a full commitment to cultivate self-love and self-acceptance as my first priority, and to develop a relationship with self.
That we know your music heals, and in singing, you're going to share some of your healing through one song that you're going to play for us.
This song, I actually wrote it, I was feeling down when I wrote the song, and it really helped me to move through that little dip. I wrote it sitting on the edge of the Okanagan Lake, and the song's called I Want It All, and it's going to be on my upcoming album, which will be out in summer 2015.
Summer of 2015.
Yes.
What's your new album called?
Past Paragons.
Past Paragons.
Yeah.
And what is the song called?
I Want It All.
Okay, I want some of it too.
Alrighty.
I'm sure everybody else wants some of it. Let's check it out.
This is my ukulele Vladimira, and the song is called I Want It All.